New at 4, a city center that is vibrant and thriving can be an important factor in the success of a city. For Charlotte, the city center is Uptown. Just last week, a $600 million project encompassing a block and a half of the North Tryon corridor was scrapped. The mixed-use project on Tryon and 7th was set to include significant residential, retail, and office space. Many consider this project a game changer for the area. So what happens now, and does this signal trouble ahead for Uptown? Real estate developer David Raven of Northwood Raven joining us now. And David, you are CEO and president of one of the most prominent residential developers in our area. So what is your take on this deal going belly up? Should we be worried about the survival of Uptown?
Well, thanks for having me on, Carolyn. I do think there should be concern about our urban cores. I think you did a segment yesterday about interest rates and how high they were. The same applies for commercial. It's been a rapid change in terms of the debt markets for all types of real estate, commercial being no different. So seeing the beginnings of projects being pulled is not surprising. I think you're going to see more and more of that as we go along.
So what does that mean then for the survival of that area?
I think it's a real issue that the city, all cities should be paying attention to. A big impact that happened during COVID was all these urban office buildings, of which typically the most expensive, tallest are in downtowns, were vacated. And with that, then the retail had to leave because there weren't people shopping, and everything started to snowball. And so the COVID impact is dramatic, and I just don't think we've seen anything like it.
And the rebound at this point, the whole work from home thing, that's still significant.
I think this is a new phenomenon that we haven't really put our arms around, but I do think cities are starting to see the repercussions of not having the employment base that it did pre-COVID. And, what does that mean to the regular person? Well, you may think, well, I don't work downtown, so it shouldn't impact me. But the truth is, your taxes are what pays for the growth of cities. And the biggest tax base has always been downtowns, again, where the most expensive buildings are. And so if those don't have the people working there and shopping there that they used to, it will turn around and impact everybody at some point.
What do you think we can do? Because you've been in the business of development for a long time. Some of the most iconic buildings in Charlotte are Northwood Raven buildings. What can Charlotte do in order to make sure that our Uptown survives?
Well, I think it has to start with the city council, the mayor and the city council, paying attention to say, wow, our downtowns just changed. The demand just changed. What can we do to bring people back and encourage them to come back to where all our investment went into?
What is your prediction for Charlotte in 5 years, 10 years from now?
Well, my hope is that by calling attention to this early, that we can actually have a booming Uptown that merges with South End, and you can go back and forth and not really know where one ends and another starts. That's my hope. I believe that we have enough people, including business leaders, focused on the future of Charlotte that we can make that happen. But I think it's a real risk that if we just sort of turn our back on it and hope for the best, we may see a downtown that looks a lot different. It's a lot emptier than it was in years past.
And that would certainly be a shame. David Raven, President and CEO of Northwood Raven, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.